guys. Good morning, everyone. Listen me. So today, in my previous video, you know the drug discovery process and their stages, two stages, and many things. And in this video, I explain each and every point. First, I repeat. Uh, repeat previous class. First, the drug discovery is the most important. Why in the day-to-day lives? If you watch the many day-to-day life, many diseases are comes and future and in day-to-day lives. Drug discovery process. What is the drug discovery process? Like the drug discovery and the development is a process. Why you used of identification new potential drugs and developing them into medication मतलब इससे हम इस प्रयोग में लाएंगे can be used to treat disease and other medical condition. This process is typically involves several different stages, many अलग-अलग stages like the drug development and drug discovery stages. Like you identify the potential target, identification of a potential for the treatment of first steps in the drug discovery process. This could be specified protein or molecules that involve the disease or conditions that the drugs intended to treat and identify a potential target for the drug in the important step in the drug discovery and the development process. Like the two stages I previously explained you, like first on the drug discovery having the money 4 point, like the target identification, target validation, and lead identification, lead optimization in the drug discovery system. And also having the 4 point, like the first on the target identification, like data timing is most important. And the second on the disease mechanism is the most important things. And third on the genomic and proteomic and 3D structure of the any drugs molecules is the most important things. First on the you know about the drug discovery system, and second you know the drug development, like the preclinical trials and clinical studies and approval is most important in day-to-day life. So first, you know about the drug discovery system. So the and target identification. You select the some parts of the drugs and some parts of the any molecules. Then identification most important. So like having the many points in the target identification of the drugs, like the target drug ability. Any drugs having the good ability and any pharmacological action produce that parts or not, and second on the investigation, their agonist and antagonist. And third on the lead identification, like the pharmacophore model and the molecular of the drugs. And the lead optimization is most important things. Lead optimization like 3D SAR, quality assurance, and pharmacodynamics and toxicity of the drugs. That means the drugs you should take the and after produce their pharmacological action in the body, and their 3D structure is most important things. And you second stage, like the drug development. So any types of the drug development is most important things. About their preclinical development, like there are any types of the drugs having pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics and the toxicity. They know their three parts, like the what the drug does to the body and what the body does to the drugs. That means you take any types of the drugs, like preparation of the liquid like syrups, and the preparation of the solid dosage like tablet and any injectable. What the drugs that produce the action in human body, and what the response produced by the body, that the pharmacodynamic and the pharmacokinetic and the toxicity. you take the any types of the drugs and produce their effect on the body, any produce the toxicity that comes under the toxicity of the drugs. And finally hello finally you in a clinical studies most important for the any drugs discovery. After you discover the any types of the molecules, any types of the drugs, the clinical studies like the clinical trials in COVID's coronavirus, the clinical trials also go. The clinical trials having the four stages: first on the first stage, second stage, third stage, and fourth stage. In clinical trial having four stages, any types of the drugs, any types of the molecules passes the clinical trial, and then uh, approval required for post marketing of the drugs. The clinical trials, what is the clinical trials? You know, the number of the groups of the peoples you take and give the drugs like the any types of the doses forms, and you observe their action of the drugs. And first on the like the hundred of the peoples and the thousand of the peoples and many more, and how percent of the drug produce their action, like the 50% and 30% and 40% minimum. Any types of the drugs if need to pass the clinical trials, then need to 50 above, like 80% of the action is produced or 20% of the side effect or not produced. You want to pass the any types of the clinical trials, the drugs having the required to 80% of the clinical trial passed, any types of the molecules, any types of the medicines, any types of the your identification need to pass the 18%. First you take the minimum amount like 12 or 50% of the peoples, and you administer the drugs, any types of dosage forms like injectable, oral, and you observe them for sometimes. And the drugs are produced the how many percent drugs produce the whole time taken the produce 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours, and you observe your talk any types of the effect, any types of the side effect. You show the animals first in the clinical trials. First you take the any types of animals like the rabbit and the mice and the rabbit, mice, and rat. In the first clinical trials passes the animals in animals, then you passes the human. First on the is 15% of the peoples are produce the action, any types of the identified drugs, and then you try to thousand of the peoples, the drugs should produce 18% of the pharmacological action, then passes the clinical trials. Any types of the drugs, any types of the medicine, any types of the preparation, and finally post marketing. Post marketing having the requirement of the approval of the drugs is the most important thing. Any types of the drugs you want to post marketing, you need to take approval of the drugs. After passes the approval of the drugs, then it goes through the market. And first you, it is not final process. Post marketing and observe their ADR, pharmacovigilance, observe their drugs activity. The drugs after post marketing, the response is 100% give, 100% public response gives. Then it is the circulate of each times any types of the side effect, any types of the any type of the toxicity, any types of the any unbelievable, yeah, unwanted effect. So then recall system of the drugs. Recall means collect again if their activity or their not so in the proper. Like you first one, the identification. The identification potential target. Research typical tag the following steps like the conduct through this review and literature. I know drug discovery and drug development, and next on the space you requirement Next, target identification validation is by each I explained. So the first on the to identify a potential target, researcher typical take the following step. Many steps having here in the drug discovery process, like the drug discovery and development, like the conductor through a review the existing literature. The first step to identify the potential target is to conduct a through the review it is again to better the understand of the disease and condition that drugs to treat. First of all, you select any part of the drugs and that drugs are produced the effect or and treat or not. This help to identify the key molecules pathway and process are involved in the disease and maybe the potential target for drugs. And you know about the second part, the conducting a conducting through a review of existing literature is an important step. It's a process of identify the potential target for a drugs to conduct to a review the literature research typicals take the following steps. Many other steps like identify the relevant database. Identify is the most important database there, and the search engine is the most important. The first step conducting the literature review is to identify the relevant database research and such as the PubMed and Scope well as a specialized research engine and that focus on the particular field or the topical. There are many different database is most important, and the search engine can be used identify the potential target for the drug development. And some of the most commonly used database and the research engine include like the PubMed, and the PubMed is a database that contain PubMed, PubMed. PubMed. PubMed is a database that contain more than 29 millions. PubMed is a database containing 29 millions this million citations for the biomedical literature, including the articles review and other source. I maintain by the National Center the Biotechnology Information important. NCBI, National Center of the Biotechnology Information, and can access free the NCBI in the Scopus. That means Scopus is a database. फर्स्ट यू PubMed, PubMed, PubMed क्या है database. दिस इज डाटाबेस एक PubMed एक database है जो 29 मिलियन जो 29 मिलियन उसमें मिलियंस सिटेशन है इसका बायोमेडिकल लिटरेचर का. और उसके बाद अगर हम देखते हैं तो स्कॉपस क्या होता है. पहले तो हम जाने कि PubMed क्या होता है. PubMed PubMed एक डाटाबेस है जो कि 29 मिलियन उसमें बायोमेडिकल लिटरेचर उसमें इन्वॉल्व होता है. उसके बाद अगर देखा जाए तो हम स्कॉपस देखते हैं तो स्कॉपस से भी डाटाबेस है जिसमें 70 मिलियन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट एंड सिटी कैन बी access and through the Scopus and web subscription Elsevier and Science Direct प्लेटफॉर्म. तो हम पहला हम देखें पबमेड एक डाटाबेस है जिसमें 29 मिलियन सिटेशन होता है जो बायोमेडिकल. सॉरी लाइट कट गया.